So what are you doing?
I don't know yet. Does this go like this?
Let go of it. Yeah.
Is that it?
That's it.
All right.
You're an expert. How do you do it?
Do what?
Put up with me. So how do you feel about driving the RV? The big rig.
It's kind of scary.
How many accidents have you been in today?
One.
Just one?
So far. We're not there yet. We're halfway there.
Yeah, truck squeezed over on us and then actually tapped our mirror on the right there and did a little damage. This is my current situation here. I'm chillaxing while my driver takes care of business over here. She's my chauffeur.
Get back to work.
Ah!
I do it because you have to work.
That's
Otherwise,
my
I would not do
excuse.
it. We do tow a car, and that adds just a little bit of.
There's a tow bar thingy.
That adds a little bit of extra difficulty.
Why?
But it's not. Well, because sometimes I look back there and I worry about the tires on the right side of the car going off the road.
Well, is there anything you can forget when you're setting it up that might do damage or something? Or?
I don't know what you're talking about. Whenever you're going through the process of setting your car up to be towed, take the emergency brake off.
And why is that?
Because otherwise your husband has to spend all weekend reinstalling brakes and an emergency brake system on the car.
Or you can catch your car on fire and your trailer on fire and all that too. We're lucky. That was our first real trip back. It's our second time towing the car, right?
Yeah. We know we're going to make mistakes. That was a big one.
So what do you do now? How do you...
Well, Eric got a large piece of paper because he didn't want to have to grab his reading glasses every time he read it. Oh wait, that's me. And it has all the instructions listed of what to do to, what process you go through on the car to prepare it to be towed, because you can't just hook your car up and pull it down without reading the manual to that car and finding out what procedure you have to follow. Otherwise you might mess up your transmission.
So you gotta stand on one leg, close your eyes, spin around 3 times. What do you do for the Honda CR-V manual? We've got an automatic transmission.
Okay, we have a 2014 Honda CR-V automatic transmission, and the way you prepare it to be towed is you turn the car on with the emergency brake on. You take the gear shift and put it through each gear, and then go back to drive for 5 seconds, and then you put it in neutral and let the car run for 3 minutes. At that point, you turn the car to ignition 1. Is that how you say it? Ignition 1. And then you attach your, we have an RVI brake system, and you attach it and it's ready to tow at that point.
Push auto position button 1 more time. RVI brake ready.
So you
Now
can
all the
tow,
other stuff you do, I don't know what.
so you can tow forever at that point?
No, you're only allowed to tow for about 3 hours, and then you can still tow, but you have to go through that process again, and then you have another 3 hours.
On a 3-hour tour. So we've been doing about, I don't know, we take a break about every 2 hours anyway, so.
Yeah, you used to install the flat towing system on the car, and that included the lighting system as well. So when we put brakes on the motorhome, it shows up on the tail lights of the car, and there was something that wasn't grounded or something, right? We found that out, so you had to go back in, and
So what was the symptom?
it wasn't grounded, so you had to ground it. Oh, the symptom was, what was it? It was really bright on that one side. It wasn't blinking. If you turn
So
the
it
blinker
looked like
on,
a brake light on one side all the time.
Yeah.
So when you turn your lights on, you didn't get that dimmer light. It was hot all the time, right? So if you got your brakes and your blinker on, you can't see it.
But you'll
Easy
have to talk.
fix.
You'll have to talk more about that stuff because I don't know about all that stuff.
It was an easy fix.
It doesn't seem like anything's been real easy, but it's been a learning opportunity, and we like that. We actually enjoy learning new things. So.
And now I'm a certified mechanic. This is what the flat bar assembly for the Honda CR-V 2014 looks like. Basically, you got to take the whole front end off, the whole front fascia off here, and replace the metal bumper inside with that piece. It does involve drilling through frame, so I suggest some good drill bits, and it's really a weekend long project. Between that and then off to the right, I did wire a 6-pin connector to this, and that harness goes all the way to the back. So here's the final setup that we landed on. We got a drop down hitch. It's I believe it's 3 inches down. And what that did was level out our arms when it connects to the car. I think in the previous shots we had it, you can see the angle of the car down, so that kind of levels it out. And then connect this to here, like so. And here's my jury-rigged pin that holds this sucker in place. I need to get some pins here. We bought this piece used. That kind of drove the whole what we're going to purchase. So you got Roadmaster brands, and that's what this is, one of the Roadmasters. It's a little older, and you've got Blue Ox, and the only difference really on the end is the connection piece, but you can get a Blue Ox adapter that goes into the a Roadmaster or vice versa. But so we've got a Roadmaster. So we had to buy the Roadmaster tow bar that replaces the bumper in the CR-V, and it's very specific to the model of car you've got, Jeep, CR-V, what year. We get those through e-trailer, and I'll go over the pieces in the car after this. So once I get these pins, I'll be able to keep these things all on and maybe get a cover for it, or get a new one when we Of course, they're several $100. We're probably in for about what, $3,000 total
I don't know.
between the brake
You're doing all the
system, the tow bars, the electrical, battery charger, and probably the most expensive was the RVI brake controller. That was pricey, but I like it. It's got the module. We want to get the TPMS, the tire pressure monitoring system, that also integrates with that. And you can do, the 6 tires on your RV plus the 4 on your Toad. Really helpful. Kind of hard to see if you got a flat tire back on your Toad.
I know.
And you can be, the car catching on fire before you realize there's a big problem. So for these guys, first we're going to get the car pulled up. The cables, I always cross mine. Basically, you want, if this detaches, you want these cables to be able to catch this and keep it up off the ground. And otherwise, what could happen is it could pole vault. This breaks away and this goes down. If this is able to drop, it could pole vault the car up.
Oh no.
So you want to cross them. This is on this side. I'm crossing it here, and I'm going to wrap it a couple times. And you do need enough slack for it to be able to turn, but I found this is the sweet spot for me here. And the same thing here. I'm going to run it through here, 2 watts, and I'm good to go. There's that one less wrap than I have over there. Put some, yeah. I've got my 7-pin from the RV to the 6-pin in the car.
That looks like, that reminds me of McDonald's. McDonald's French fries.
And my breakaway cable. It's preferable if you can get this hooked into the frame, but there's nowhere in the frame for us to hook it, and maybe we can get somebody to weld some piece on for us. So right now I am putting it on the hitch itself, the piece that the hitch is connected to, which if that failed, it wouldn't break away. So I don't like that, but it is the only option I have right now without having someone machine weld something for me. And Cheryl's looking at me like, wait, I thought everything was perfect. Why am I just now finding out about this? And voila, we are connected. So we check our pins. Good. Breakaway cable's good. Ready to rock and roll, man.
Do you want me to do a test for the blinkers and the tail lights?
So we're connected to the car. On the car we got the tow bar, and as like I mentioned before, specific to the car. And the other things we also added to the vehicle itself was the wiring harness. So we got a 6-pin here that connects. And we're actually using 5 of those. So 4 of them are your brake and turn signals. And those, I got a wiring harness kit from eTrailer, and I've got them wired to the back, and I'll show you how I've got the tail light wired. The other pieces here, we've got this is the breakaway wireless receiver for the RVI brake controller, and that keeps you from having to take that RVI brake controller breakaway pin and wired it through a firewall into the RVI brake controller. This does it wirelessly. And I've also wired in a battery charger, a trickle charger from the RV. So off the hot pin, the 12-volt pin on that 6-pin is your hot wire, and it's wired into here into this fuse here, and it's got a ground. Both of those go into the battery. So we got the ground, the hot and the neutral basically. And it is grounded separate. So that keeps a charge on the battery, so it doesn't strain your car battery as you're running your RVI brake controller and other pieces. As far as the wiring, you can see the 4-wire harness here. Got that kit from the eTrailer. It's wired up through here. It goes up under, through the casings under the car. And I've got them wired back here. And what I chose to do was get the separate LED light bulb and drill an extra light bulb into my existing turn signals. There is an option you can do where you can wire it in, but you got to have diodes to keep the 2 systems separate. It seemed a lot simpler this way. Just drill it in and it works great. So we got brake, we got headlights, and we got turn signals. We got Captain Cheryl here. She's getting ready to test out the towed vehicle for the first time in our new Miramar. All right, let's go, Captain Cheryl. Gandalf the Grey now has a toad. We gotta get the toad a nickname. What's a good nickname for something that's a tow behind or a towed vehicle? Or Gandalf the Grey? Comment below and let us know what you think.